Hello and welcome to Lightworks. In this quick start video, we're going to take you through a brief edit workflow. When you first launch Lightworks, you'll be presented with the project browser screen. I'd like to draw your attention to the System Settings button at the bottom left of the screen. Here, you can modify the Lightworks user interface appearance, in the project browser panel, I can see recently used projects, and I can create a new project. Let's start a new project, name it, and set the frame rate. In the 24 frame project, you can mix frame rates, otherwise choose another frame rate that matches your footage. If you're unsure about the frame rate of your material, choose Auto, and Lightworks will configure the project appropriately. Press Create. On the left-hand side is the toolbox. At the bottom of the toolbox is the editor preferences. I can choose where Lightworks displays the playback controls. I can also import keyboard shortcut layouts from Avid or Final Cut. Let's import some media. Browse to the media and select the shots. Here I've got 2 shots for a dialogue scene. There's 3 different ways to import your footage. Create link. Link directly to the files in their current file path. Copy local. Copy the files to Lightworks assigned media spaces, or transcode to change the media format. Transcode settings can be found on the Settings menu on the top right, Video Transcoding. I'm going to go ahead and import these shots with Create Link. The Content Manager opens. I can set the view in the Content Manager by toggling between Tiles View and List View. In List View, you can see more metadata in the column display. In Tiles View, media can be played, scrubbed and marked in the bin. You can also storyboard from here. On the top left, I have a filter section. In my recent filter, I can see when shots were imported. Let's make a new bin. Press the plus sign beside the bins entry. Click on the text at the top and rename it. Back to my recent filter. Simply lasso the shots and drag and drop them straight into the bin. To open a shot into a viewer, hover over the tile, click on the viewer icon. In the viewer, I can select tracks that I wish to edit with. We have transport controls, mark functions and edit functions at the bottom, and also a timecode panel on the left hand side. Let's mark the first edit. Return to the top, press play. I'm going to mark an in point here. With Lightworks, you don't have to mark an out point. Wherever you stop becomes the out point. It's called mark and park.
Like I'm ever going to give that part to Monica.
Initially, as I play, I'm modifying the out point. If you wish to swap the marks around and modify the in point by playback, click on the blue mark. Now when we play, we can modify the in point. To send this to a new edit, simply press the Create New Edit button in the toolbox. If you right-click on the New Edit icon and select New Edit Settings, as well as selecting how many default video and audio tracks you require, you can now set an edit length. Choosing values above 0 will populate your timeline with black, so you're free to place your clips at any position across that duration. Pressing Set will remember the settings permanently, or press the Replace or Insert button on the viewer. The edit's created and automatically saved. You don't need to save in Lightworks. I'm going to rename this Cut 1. Notice the edit viewer has a similar button set to the source viewer, with the addition of undo and redo. In the transport bar, the means to take material from your edit is remove and delete. Let's mark up the next shot. Back to the bin, double click the tile, or drag and drop it straight to the source viewer. And repeat the process. Vänta, varsågod.
Like I'm ever gonna give that part to Monica.
Did you see her dress?
Ensure the current time indicator on the edit is positioned at the right place. And again use insert. Clear the marks.
Yeah, more like a birthday suit if you ask me.
Let's have a look at the remove and delete functions. I just zoom in at the top of the edit. I'd like to remove this area of silence at the front. Mark and park the range. Select the tracks you wish to remove or delete. With remove, lift out the material and replace with black. And use delete to lift out the media and close the gap. After the rough assembly, to fine-tune your cuts, you'll need to enter trim mode. This is called unjoining and joining cuts in Lightworks. When you hover over a cut point, you'll see the mouse head icon change. On the left of a cut, you'll see a U on its side. Centered on the cut, you'll see an H on its side. And on the right of a cut, you'll see another U on its side. On the left, you'll trim the out point. On the center, you'll trim both sides of the media. And on the right, you'll trim the clip's in point. To modify the cuts, either click and hold and drag left and right. When you release, the cut is rejoined. If you wish to permanently unjoin, click once. Now you'll notice your edit viewer has turned into a 2-frame display. This is the trim mode display. The frames displayed in trim mode will show how the frames are being modified each side of the cut point. As we trim the clip's out point, the outgoing frame is modified, indicated in the left-hand monitor, but the incoming frame of the next shot remains fixed, indicated in the right-hand monitor. You can step with frames, forward and backwards, or keyboard shortcuts to modify that point, or press play.
More of a birthday suit.
Pressing Shift and the play button will play backwards.
And
And you'll be able to monitor the audio. To join up the cut, when you're happy, press the join button. The functionality is the same for all types of trim. If I click centered on the cut, the trim viewers show the outgoing frame and the incoming frame as you add and subtract frames from each side of the cut.
more of
Or I can drag with the mouse. For slipping and sliding shots, unjoin more than one cut point. If I unjoin this incoming shot and the outgoing frame, we're able to roll the clip on the spot.
Dress.
yeah.
When you're slipping a clip, the trim viewer displays the first and last frame of the clip being slipped. And the inverse, click the outgoing shot and the next shot's incoming frame.
more of
When you're sliding a clip, the trim viewer shows the last frame of the outgoing shot and the first frame of the incoming frame of the shot after the media being slid on the timeline. Let's bring in some audio to this edit and add a couple more tracks. Right click, choose Add Tracks. I want 2 audio tracks. There's a stereo pair. Press Add. Import the audio. Load the audio clip to the source monitor. Choose your in point Mark and park the destination range on the edit. Select only the destination tracks you require and press replace. Let's turn all the tracks back on again. If you want to mix the global track levels, open the audio mixer by right-clicking, choose Audio Mixer panel. You can set segment levels and do audio keyframing functions from the Advanced panel on the Edit timeline. Let's add a video effect across this whole sequence. Mark and park the effect range. From the Timeline button, open the Effects browser. Choose the Effects category. I'm going to use my colour preset, increase saturation, apply to the Mark section, and press Add. The Effects Settings panel opens to allow you to modify the parameters or to work with keyframes. A new effects track, FX1, is created with the effect spanning the edit. I'm going to clear the marks. Transitions can be added to cut points on the timeline by dragging and dropping directly from the effects panel. There's also another way to add them. Right-click a cut point and choose Add Transition. If you wish to remove or modify a transition, simply right-click it once more, replace, access the settings, or remove it completely. Audio crossfades are applied in the same way. On an audio track, right-click a cut point, choose Add Crossfade. When you're ready to export, return to the Tools panel, click, drag and drop the Export tool onto your target. Then the Export panel opens. Choose your format, frame rate and size. Adjust any other options. Set the destination. I'm going to export a local copy for YouTube. Press Start. The background task starts. While that's going on, I'm going to choose another export profile, a Blu-ray H.264. While the background tasks are being carried out, you're free to carry on working. We hope this guide's been useful. Enjoy Lightworks.